Hoe lang sit dan net jy hierdie wond op?
Amper 16 jaar.
Okay, en dan waar oral sit dan nou gewees?
Orals rondom, soos daai klein seertjies.
Yes.
Maak hy sulke klein seertjies. Hier, hy was daar.
Okay,
Hy het nou uitgeskeer, daar is die laaste seertjie.
okay.
Daarso het hy heen gegaan. Nou sal hy daarna toe gaan. En hierso het so seer nou uitgekom, dan gaan hy nou na daai seer toe skeer. Hierdie hele stuk gaan binne so 'n week, as dit so lank gaan vat. Die hele voet gaan dan vol wees van daai seer.
Hi everybody, welcome to TCTV and Health Matters. We have a special guest with us today and her name is Deborah. Deborah is a white sangoma or traditional healer, and so Debbie, welcome and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Right, I think you've said it all, yes. Definitely a traditional healer. I've had many years experience in natural health care and absolutely love what I do. I also project a lot of products such as the one that I'm talking about today.
That's fantastic, Deborah. So the product we're talking about today is our G-Fense, which has amazing benefits. And Deborah's here to tell us. So, Deborah, what makes G-Fense so effective?
Well, I think the important thing is you're looking at a hero ingredient that not many people know about. And it's quite an exciting thing. When you have a look at the fact that you've got G-Fense, what does that mean? This is a wound care spray in a mist kind of form. That is absolutely phenomenal. And the big thing is around the fact that we collaborate around nature. And it's a bit of a God-intended thing, how nature works, right? How your body, your mechanism of your body works.
Yeah.
So the hypochlorous acid, that is the main hero ingredient in this, is something that in fact your white blood cells produce. So when you have an infection, your white blood cell actually produces hypochlorous acid, and not many people know that.
No.
So this is a little bit about mimicking nature. It's a method that is used, and this is actually what is in the ingredient itself. So that's the hero.
So your body can identify what it is because it knows this product or this ingredient.
Absolutely. So this
Wonderful.
is something that is a natural, almost antibiotic. It's a disinfectant. It's a sanitizer. It's a wound care agent. And we'll talk about, what it can be used for closer. But I think that the fact that the body isn't able to kind of produce your hypochlorous acid quickly enough. So if you're spraying this onto the site of infection and you're not getting that terrible burn, your body recognizes it because it's very pH efficient. So it's safe to use on babies up to elderly. In fact, it's even good for animals, and it can even be used in agriculture.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So this product doesn't burn at all.
It doesn't. So, I mean, you would think that it could be an astringent
Yes.
type of thing, which, would burn. So we've got a wound care management system. Now, where you would traditionally find hypochlorous acid agents is in a hospital environment. Now, your big differentiator with this, what makes it so unique, is that it kills a biofilm. So the reason your body produces hypochlorous acid is to get rid of sort of parasites, funguses, bacteria, pathogens. It is so effective that we almost missed the loop around COVID because we didn't create that awareness at the time that this product can actually help prevent COVID. And the reason for that is it kills a biofilm. So
What
you
is
know
a
what?
biofilm?
A biofilm is something that is your septicemia. It's a part of a wound that is to that extent where you have an oozing, highly infected wound. And the thing is, there are not many things that can actually, help a wound like that immediately.
Sure, and especially if your immune system's compromised, that wound will take so much longer to heal.
Exactly. So that, I think, is a powerful, when we say the hero ingredient, like that's what we're going to say. Now, the funny thing is, right, when you spray it, you're going to actually almost smell or taste a little bit of like a chlorine type of thing.
Okay.
And then it confuses you. You think, well, why, understand that it is similar in the scientific way of making it, that it could almost be the same. It could be considered a little bit of a chlorine smell, but it only lasts for a couple of seconds.
Okay.
When you spray this, it dries very quickly, and you leave it to dry, and then you go about doing your normal process of creams and anything else, And I'm going to explain a little bit about when we use it and how to use it. Then I can explain that more.
So when would I use it, and what wounds will I use it?
So, you almost, the fact that it's got a bit of a chlorine type of analyte base behind it, if you consider a really, really dirty swimming pool, and you think that they actually, now it's green with algae, right? You can't get rid of it. It's so bad and so infected, so as to speak.
Yeah.
You would add a chlorine type of base.
Yes.
And it would clear up pretty quickly.
Yes.
It's effective. It's a similar component, with the exception that there's no chemical in this, because it's the base of it, that its pH is efficient enough for a wound. So it doesn't burn. The thing is, it sets about taking away that infection immediately. And when we talk about what kind of infection, we're talking diabetic ulcerous wounds that are very hard to manage.
Yeah.
People go for many years and they haven't been able to manage it. It keeps a lot of efficiency and oxidation into the wound, so that wound is able to heal a lot more effective than most wounds would be able to. And this is why it's used in a hospital environment.
Okay, so you say we must just use it on our wounds, that we have our sores.
Funny enough, it's exciting because your use for it is so much broader than what you would imagine. So when we brought this to wonderful company TC, right, Direct, we are able to bring this to the people, and it's a first aid in home, but you don't actually understand how powerful it is. This is something that you can spray in your mouth, and it's not toxic, and you can spray it in sort of ulcers, you get those mouth sores.
So if you had a sore throat, for instance,
absolutely,
would you use that?
Sore throat.
Okay.
And that little bit of chlorine type of taste, it doesn't last very
those
long.
little sores on your lips and in your
on
gums.
your lips. Anything that is a fungal infection, and anything. And another interesting thing is if you're getting a tooth abscess, the idea is to try not to use too many antibiotics.
And you don't want to go to the dentist either.
You don't really want to go to the dentist. No
they're
one likes
expensive.
going to the dentist. So it's a case of, you can have this first aid in your home, you can spray it, and it can literally help take away that infection.
Wow.
So your management of teeth is a big thing, because if you've got plaque on your teeth, that affects your heart. I can't stress that enough. And then, this can help get rid of plaque, and it helps with halitosis, which is also quite a thing.
Which is bad breath.
Which is a bad breath,
yeah.
right. That's uncomfortable. So, yes, you can spray it in your mouth. You can, I don't say go and drink the stuff, no, but you're going to spray your throat 2 or 3 times a day, and you'll see that it's highly effective.
And then can I use this product, say, in my eyes?
That's the exciting thing. Okay, so there comes your other infections that you're talking about, otitis and all these big names that we won't go into today. We're just going to tell you how you can use it. So you've got young children at home, and let's start working almost from a baby. It's safe to use on a baby from any age.
That's incredible.
So baby is born, and eventually you start getting nappy rash, and you get cradle cap, and yes, you've got a lot of products that will also help soothe. But if you want to do the disinfection first, spray this over the cradle cap, etc., and the nappy environment, because it kills a biofilm. That biofilm is actually what causes the big infection. When you get those horrible oozy sores that you can't manage. So you spray this first, a light spray once, you let it dry, and then you apply your balms and everything else that you've got. The prevention is there, which is exciting.
Which mom must also use then.
Mommy's use. Yes. So now we're going back to mommy who's had the baby, and she's got these awful wounds, and personal hygiene is a big thing.
Sure.
So now we're going into the fact that it can actually get rid of viruses. Now we're going into gonorrhea and syphilis and, even that kind of environment, you can use this privately, very safely, and it doesn't burn. And I don't know that many people knew about that, which is an exciting thing.
Sure.
So when you're talking about antiviral, then you're actually going to move over now into other viral type of pathogenic type of wounds. So you've got warts, you've got styes. An eye sty is something else to manage.
Yes.
So it's safe to spray in an eye, and it's good for conjunctivitis, which is pink eye, basically. Itchy, red itchy eyes.
Yes.
You can spray safely. Not only for baby, for your 5-year-old or 6-year-old that goes to school and picks up, these little
Grannies
diseases.
and grandpas.
Grannies, grandpas, absolutely.
So the whole family.
So it is something that is highly unique, and I can't stress enough, because not many sprays can kill a biofilm. That's the biggest thing. It's a disinfectant.
How often would you be using this then?
You know what? It depends on what it is. So let's talk acne, right? Acne is quite a thing, and often it's aggravated by someone who goes to work and they have to wear, the covering and a helmet. Let's talk perhaps even wigs.
Okay.
Yes. You've got a very irritating itch that is so hard to manage. So that person would probably carry it in your handbag and you can spray it as many times as you wish over the period of the day. When it comes to ingesting it, I would say up to 3 times a day. Okay. So in your morning, afternoon, and before you go to bed.
So if it's external, it's any time of the day.
Any time
as
of the
many
day.
times as possible, or
Absolutely.
whenever you need it.
And that's the thing, it's so powerful that you actually don't need to spray it that often.
Okay.
Often people will spray it twice and that's it. Even once a day. Now,
That's
when
amazing.
we talk burns are huge. Burning, a burn wound is probably the worst wound to manage, because you've got constant reinitiation, or it keeps getting infected. So it does stop inflammation. So, your acne environment, it will get rid of that redness and that soreness. But in terms of a wound itself, like a burn wound, this product is phenomenal. And we're talking even 3rd-degree burn wounds. So from that perspective, and I don't know how many people really realize the way that it works. And that's why we're doing this today, to explain why. It can be used everywhere, even in your ear. Yes, it's going to be a little bit hard to get there, but it does work. And I think the most important thing is, for someone just to know that it must dry if you're going to use it on your face for acne. Let it dry first and then apply your other products over it.
It's an amazing product, especially if you can carry it around. So TC people, if you can buy one of these and keep it in your handbag and use for anything from your granny to your children to your baby, to keep antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, just general health care. This is an amazing product. Just one thing about G-Fense, Debbie, is why is this product so expensive to other products out there?
Yeah, I think it's a very relevant question. The fact that it was made really to manage high bacterial pathogenic type of environments in hospital use. You know what happens? You go to a hospital and you pick up germs.
Germs, yeah.
Okay, this is a thing. So there's something called resistance, biotic resistance down the line. And what we're worried about is there's so much use of antibiotic that eventually your body will not work. So we want to try and have this product to use that you don't actually rush off and buy that antibiotic.
Which is
use
expensive.
this first, manage it at home.
Yeah.
Prevention is better than cure,
Absolutely.
they say. Something I advocate for. So the big thing is they use this in hospitals to kill off germs. 4 seconds, literally proven, 99% of those germs are killed. But we're talking pathogenic. So we're talking the disease that spreads at high level, that contagious type of diseases. I don't know if any of you know of Staph aureus. That's like a very hard type of sort of wound to manage. And it's an itchy wound and it keeps reoccurring. It's hard to manage. And Candida, right?
Yes.
So this can resolve that. So it's expensive in the way from a pricing point because of the technology.
Yes.
The science behind this is phenomenal.
But also, if you've got wounds or you need to go see a doctor, that's going to cost you a doctor's visit, plus he's going to give you the antibiotics. So generally, what you're saying is it's actually cheaper than actually all those visits because it's preventative.
Yes.
You're not trying to, in the long term.
In the long term. So you have this management tool. It's got quite a long-term shelf life. Have it in your cupboard, your first aid cupboard, and that's the first thing that you go to. When you've got a wound, you've got a cut, you've got a suspicious rash, you've got cirrhosis, you've got eczema, you've got acne, you've got stars. We can't stress enough. Any septic wound, and especially for our diabetics out there who have such hard management of their wounds, gangrene, and now COVID's coming. There's generally going to be a reoccurrence of any viruses around there. It might not only be COVID, it might be flu, it might be anything like that. Recently proven to help with that. And also for surfaces, you don't understand that it's a disinfectant beyond anything imaginable because you've got so much more, benefit going in it, in terms of how it's made. So I can't stress enough about, we go back to how God made our bodies. This is taking that science and reproducing it. So that takes massive technology. So the actual device is a medical device. It is registered as a medical device. So in terms of using it with cancerous type of wounds and the safety of it, going into a hospital with it and knowing that the nurse is going to say you can't have this here, it's a medical device, big plus point. But the technology, I can't stress enough that the machinery and the technology behind it is what has made it take it up to that level, to be slightly more expensive, but you're getting something that works.
This is an amazing product, TC people. So if you haven't got this in your handbag or currently at home for your medicine chest, I suggest you go out and get one. And just finishing off, I'd like to thank Deborah for joining us today. It was really informative and really amazing information and benefits that you can have for this product. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you again shortly.